Let's talk about the art of healthy eating. What's on your menu today? Let's talk about G-Bobs. That's on my menu. That's what I want to talk about on this video today. And if this is something you have heard about before, it's going to be a little refresher for you. And if not, stick around. But first, I am Arlene Timber Henry. And on this channel, I talk about healthy eating and healthy lifestyle changes for women over 40, particularly for the most part, primarily most of the time, as it relates to nutrition and all of the things that go into our nutrition. So, if that's something that you're interested in, welcome. G bombs. First time I heard about G bombs, probably more than 15 years ago, probably more than, from Dr. Joel Furman, who is someone, a medical doctor I saw on TV at the time, and was intrigued by the way he talked more about food for healing and for health than about medicine or medication. And so I started following him. I am now on his newsletter. I have his books. I have attended his virtual workshops. I attend things where he's in collaboration with other doctors who are talking and teaching about nutrition and health and eating and disease prevention and health promotion and all of those kinds of things, which are some of the things that I talk about on this channel as well. And so G bombs are something that together make up part of my healthy eating lifestyle. And I want to share those with you today. The G for greens, particularly specifically the dark leafy greens. The darker, the leafier, the better. So we're talking here about spinaches and bok choy, uh, collard greens, mustard greens. I'm not coming up with the name of another green, but there are lots of those dark leafy greens. And if you have any of those, most of those would work for the G part of the G bombs. Some time ago, I mentioned this on one of my other videos, and a lot of people talk about lettuce, and I mentioned lettuce as a green, as a leafy green. Lettuce doesn't score very high on the scoring for the highest amount of nutrients from dark leafy greens. Lettuce has very few nutrients on its own. It's mostly made up of water. And I just thought of another dark leafy green that's very popular, and that's kale. So you can add any or a mix of those to your healthy eating regimen. So that takes care of the G. And then bombs, BOMBS, G, BOMBS, G bombs. So the B, 1B, is for berries. Berries of all types, berries of all colors. Fresh berries are okay. Frozen berries are okay. Dried berries are fine as long as they are not added with sugar, augmented with sugar. You can have those dried, fresh, frozen, and you use those in your healthy eating uh, repertoire. So that's the G for greens, the B for berries. And then we come to the O. The O now includes all of the foods in the onion family. And that's all the types of onions, red ones, white ones, yellow ones, green ones, and other relatives of the onions like garlic and chives and scallions and leeks. Those all form part of the O in the G bombs. Then we have the M. M stands for mushrooms, all the types of mushrooms. I haven't ever had all of the types of mushrooms that are available. As a matter of fact, I'm still learning about some of the mushroom types that are available and that are possible to add to your eating and your diet and your menus and your cooking. And I'm excited to try some that I learned about not too long ago, like lion's mane I had never heard of it, and then I recently saw it, so I'm going to get some for myself. And we know all the other types: the white, the button, the portobello, the shiitake, and there's a whole range. So you can go ahead and find whichever ones are local and available and convenient for you to have. Dried, I've used them dried, I've used them fresh, they're canned, they're in all forms and shapes and types. So G for greens, B for berries, O for onion and the onion family, M for mushrooms. Then there's the other B, and that's for beans. Again, beans of all types and colors. It's a good thing to have a variety of all of these foods, and it's a good thing that they come in all types and all varieties. So you have beans, you have white, black, pinto, great northern, black eyed, lentils of all colors, and the list goes on and on. One of my favorites is garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and there's so many things that you can do with those. I have made snacks in the air fryer with garbanzo beans or the chickpeas. I have blended them and added them to soups and stews as a thickener. I've put them in smoothies. I have them mashed. I have them curried. I have garbanzo beans or chickpeas in a multiple ways, endless and endless varieties. Black beans also are very versatile. You can add those. I've also added those to smoothies. I've added those to desserts. I have added those to soups, stews, um, all kinds of ways. The beans are very healthy because if you're a person who has been diagnosed with diabetes, beans are a great source of carbs, healthy carbs, which are low on the glycemic scale, meaning they will not spike your blood sugar as other simple carbs might. And then we get to the S. So G for greens, B for berries, O for onion and the onion family, M for mushrooms, B again for the beans, and the S. The S includes all of the seeds and all of the nuts. So anything in the seeds, pumpkin seeds, what's the other one that I use a lot? That is the sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, and nuts, all nuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds, peanuts. But these need to be unsalted, unroasted, so raw or natural for the most part, uncoated, no sugars and honeys and caramel and all of those do not qualify. So these need to be as close as possible to the natural state to get the most nutrition, the most nutrients, the most health promoting and disease preventing. You're going to hear me say those words a lot on this channel because that's what it's about. I'm looking to give you the information and help with the foods that are the most densely nutritious, have the most nutrients per calorie. And I forgot to mention that all of these foods are very, very low in calories. So if you're looking to add more food to your plate without adding more calories, you can't get better than going with the G bombs. And you're going to hear me talk about these some more on this channel and other videos that are coming up. But that's it for today. So what I try to do is incorporate as many of those G bombs as I can per day in one or more of my meals. So spreading them out throughout the day makes me feel like, I'm on target for getting some greens in my meals, whether it's at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or something else, or some berries in some way. So one of the ways I love to use the berries is when I have either some oats, I do some oats and add some berries in, or if I make whole grain pancakes or other something else whole grain without adding sugar, I add some berries. Or instead of pancake syrup, I don't buy or I don't use regular traditional pancake syrup. I make my own sauce or syrup from fresh or frozen berries. You warm them and they are a little bit soft and they create their own juice. And that's the sweetness that I add to pancakes or waffles or anything like that that I make. And so there's a lot of ways to use these natural foods in a way that is healthy and giving you the kind of nutrients that you need to get. That's it. That's it. G bombs. Go get some GBOMBS and let me know if this is something you'd like to hear more of. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again soon.